All right, guys, how you doing? This is Tamar Jameson. We are here to talk black business. So let's talk black business with Yvette D of Best Services Unlimited. Yvette, welcome to the show. I really appreciate you being here today.
First of all, thank you for having me here. I appreciate this opportunity to talk to you today and to your audience, and I'd like to thank you for that.
Well, welcome. So if you would, share with us a little bit about what your business is, what you do, how you got started.
Well, I am the owner of Best Services Unlimited. It is a boutique tax firm here in Fayetteville, Georgia. It relocated here originally from Nutley, New Jersey. I came here to Fayetteville in 2011. I have just always loved numbers. I have a passion for it, and I think I have a passion for analyzing the numbers and reading the tax code and using it to the benefit of my clients. So I think that my analyzing skills basically poured over into tax, and I was able to use it better to help people in general.
Okay. Now, had you always thought about being an entrepreneur, or how did you get started with being an entrepreneur and or specifically going down the road of taxes?
Well, no, I didn't always think about being an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Because unbeknownst to most people, I have always been preparing taxes since 1989 when I first got out of high school. I was working under the CPA, but it was just a job. I went there. I was doing we only did corporate returns at that time. And I just was like, it was a job. But I didn't realize that I really had a good talent for it. And as much as the CPA was telling me I had a talent for it, I was saying, well, I want to become an accountant, but I was just like, I like the numbers. I didn't want to do the work. So fast forward a couple of more years, I started working as a senior financial analyst. And that's when I learned that I loved analyzing the numbers, seeing where trends was. I probably would have been great in forensic accounting, like if you ever saw the movie The Accountant.
Okay.
But I wasn't thinking about that at the time. I just realized I can actually look at numbers and show the variance and tolerance. And that's really good when you're doing taxes, to know what the IRS code allows, to make sure that the person is taking the right type of percentage for certain things, especially in a home-based business.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2006, I decided just to start my own firm. But it came out of the fact that at that time, then I had got promoted to a controller, and I had wanted to go to a position higher, and they were telling me no for whatever reason. And I just believe that if you do not want to invite me to the table, but you want my talent, I'll just make my own table. Right. So I started my own company, and that's basically what happened.
And you said that was 2006?
2006.
Okay, 12 years in. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations. So you see that Yvette's taken a route that some people have taken, which is going through the corporate route, and then getting some information from them that she didn't particularly like. So she decided to go out on her own. So don't think that you have to be an entrepreneur from day one, that you have to start as an entrepreneur, that you have to be born an entrepreneur, because things happen throughout life to kind of put you into that situation where you feel like, now I can be an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about some of the successes that you've had, because obviously we want to know how things go when everything's well. So tell us about some of the pros that you've had over the last 12 years or even longer.
Well, even though I didn't get to the level that I wanted to get in the workplace, I did have a successful career. I mean, I went from a financial coordinator to a controller in a span of 6 years.
Okay.
So that was great. I also say outside in the business, just the fact that people was embracing me because of the fact that I was transparent about who I was and what I brought. And a lot of times people were, in flux about having someone who had a full-time job, taking care of their finances. But I just assured them, I do numbers all day. I was a controller for a project that I was in charge of $20 million. I'm pretty sure if I was handling $20 million, I can handle your $100,000. You're going to be okay.
Right.
So I think, to tell you the truth, it was more the fact that I was a controller that they felt I was more qualified to take care of their taxes. And also because I went back to school, I got my MBA, I became an author, and now author of 4 books.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And then this year, I was able to expand my practice to get my first international client, which I thought was really cool to have a guy from a place that I really like, Dubai.
Okay.
And actually, he's out there living, but have properties here. So I'm taking care of his S-corp needs here. And then he opened me up to other clients. So now, not only do I have clients in the 31 states that I do have clients here in the United States, now I have one in Dubai, I got one in Thailand, one in Indonesia. So I'm really excited for what this year is going to bring for my practice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So from national to international, just that, I would say just that quick, but over 12 years.
Yes.
All right. This has not been an easy journey by any stretch of the imagination, I'm sure. So with that being said, speaking of that, what are some of the obstacles that you've overcome and been proud to say, I've overcome some things with launching the company or running the company or making the company succeed?
Okay, well, those things I will have to say were easy.
Okay.
But most of the ones that I had to deal with was my own personal things, or getting out of my own head, getting out of my own way. My self-doubt of that I could go out and do it on my own because of the fact of what had happened. Like, I'm like, wait, you want my talent, but you don't want me. What about me is not good enough? And I think women sometimes go through that a lot in the workplace. So they may say, you're talented, but you're probably not part of the boys club. Sometimes that happens. And you just have to say, despite you may be the most educated person in the room, but for some reason, we're not going to pick you. So you just got to be able to say, I know that I'm enough. And if you don't see it, then I'm going to take my talent and go elsewhere. And that's perfectly okay. And if you do decide to stay, that's perfectly okay too. But what are you going to do during that time that you stay to make it better for you? Because you don't want to have walking around with that self-doubt. And that was really the main thing I had to overcome, was getting out of my own way, knowing that I was able to do all the things that I was doing. How can you not say this, but I'm running a successful business, I'm a best-selling author, I graduated first in my class in my MBA. So take all of those positive things and put it into yourself and go with it.
Right. Now, do you see that as a challenge with a lot of women entrepreneurs? Because I'm seeing a lot more women starting businesses, running businesses, having successful businesses. So speak to them if you would.
Yes. Women, if you want to start a business and you have this great talent and you feel that it's not being utilized, just go ahead and do it. You can. It will be hard, and you will have to do a lot of juggling because, we have to cook, clean, take care of children, get up early, go to bed late. But you just think about it. Think about all the times that you got up to go to work, when you were sick, when you wasn't feeling well, and tap into that work ethic and channel it into your business. You're going to be great. If you feel, I posted this on Facebook the other day. If you want it more than food, drink, sleep, or sex, you already made it. Just keep moving forward.
That's a good point. All right. And men, you can take something from that as well. We have been having discussions about how women are launching more businesses than men. They're running more businesses than men. They're moving up the corporate ladder a lot faster. And I think it is because of that hustle. So men, pay attention to these women because they understand it. And like Yvette said, when it means more to you than everything else, then that's when you can be successful. So definitely appreciate that insight. And I'm sure there's a lot of women and men who appreciate that little piece of information. So thank you very much for that. So other than speaking to women directly, what overall advice would you give to somebody who's aspiring to be an entrepreneur? Maybe they're just not really sure that they want to be an entrepreneur yet. What advice would you give them?
Well, first I would they have like these assessment tests online because everybody's not built to be an entrepreneur. And that's quite okay because there's a certain drive that you're going to have that is not in everybody. So they do have assessment tests to see if you're good to be an entrepreneur. Are you going to be able to be a self-starter? Are you going to be able to do things on your own? Are you going to be able to multitask a lot of different things? And this is probably why women are going out because they're realizing they're doing all of these things already.
Right.
So I would first say that. First assess yourself and know if you have it in you to be an entrepreneur. Not just as a whim, I want to be my own boss. Second, then after that, okay, I'm ready to be an entrepreneur. If you're working, make an exit plan. I don't want people to just jump out and say, they wake up one day, say, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, quit your job, and then everything goes down. And you're going to be like, why did I even do this? You want to make a plan. So if I always say, if you're working 9 to 5, then 5 to 9 is when you're supposed to be working on you and working on your business because then it will grow. And then if you just don't have a job and you just decide that you want to be an entrepreneur, read
Okay.
a lot, study other entrepreneurs that is in the field that you want to be in, so that way you can learn by somebody who has already done it. Why reinvent the wheel or try to go around it when you can actually study someone who has actually been successful in what you want to do? Like I would say, in the tax refund industry, it is $12.6 billion available. There's enough money for every tax preparer, tax accountant, CPA, enroll agent to be a millionaire, and there'll still be money left over. But people want to just fight all the time when they shouldn't have to. So I would just say, an aspiring entrepreneur, do not watch what other people are doing and then get into your mind, why them, not me. Don't worry about that. Just focus on you, go forth, be great, and stay true to you, because that's going to win. And if you need any other great example, just check out Cardi B. She is thoroughly authentic, and she's winning.
A lot of good points from Yvette on that. One that jumped out at me, first and foremost, was a quote, actually, that I lived by, especially when I was making the transition from full-time employee to full-time entrepreneur, which was a quote by Jim Rohn. And it says, work harder on yourself than you do at your job.
Mm-hmm.
So that reminded me a lot of what you were saying. I would go to work, and I was working, not 9 to 5, but like 9 to 7, 9 to 8. So when I got home, I had to work till 11, 12, 1 in the morning on me. But I realized if I was giving 10 hours to somebody else, why can't I at least give 3 to myself? And on the weekends, that I can put a lot more into me, on my days off, things like that. So very good point with making sure that you are reading, educate yourself, learning, things like that. I really like also how you said, do you. You know, stop looking at other people. I think in this age of social media and everybody posts on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever it is, you think everybody's a millionaire overnight.
And it's absolutely not true. And please believe that Facebook live views, YouTube live views do not always equate into dollars.
Right.
A lot of people will try to tell you that, oh, I got like 6,000 views, so I got $6,000. No, they don't. That's why they always on Facebook Live, because they still trying to generate money. Believe it.
Right. So if you could start over again, and going back as far back as you want, going back a year, 2 years, 10 years, 15 years, what, if anything, would you do differently that you've done so far?
When I came here to Atlanta, I would have immediately became an entrepreneur. I wouldn't have stayed in the workplace. Okay. I would have just went full throttle and been an entrepreneur, because I had already had the client base in place, but I still was like, oh, I like it here. They're not getting on my nerves. I would have just went full throttle back in 2011 and just went straight into being an entrepreneur. Right.
So you had that self-doubt again. Was kind of keeping you from making that leap.
Well, really, complacency. Okay. It wasn't even self-doubt at that time. At that time, it was complacency.
Right.
It's fine here. They're not getting on my nerves, so I'm just going to stay.
Safety net.
It was a safety net.
And a lot of us have read about it, heard about it, talked about people who have had that safety net. They've been in corporate America, or, I get a paycheck every 2 weeks or every month, whatever the case is. I got my benefits. Like you said, they're not getting on my nerves enough where they're pushing me out, so I'm safe. And then I've got my hustle, or I got my business or my company on the side, so I kind of got the best of both worlds.
Yes.
And it's usually not until something happens drastic, we can be candid, guys. Until somebody pisses you off.
Yes.
Right? You get fired. You don't get that promotion that you wanted till you decide enough's enough. You know, and now I want to do what I need to do. Okay. Yvette, tell us a little bit about the tax game. What are some of the things that we should know about without getting into a whole bunch of depth? Like, who do you work with? What are some of the tax laws? Just some basic stuff that we should know about as individuals or entrepreneurs when it comes to taxes. Some basic stuff.
Well, I work with other CPAs and bookkeepers. A lot of people don't realize that a lot of CPAs do not do taxes. Okay. Even when they're telling you they're doing your taxes, they're not doing your taxes. I get a lot of outsourced work from other CPAs. Also, I work with bookkeepers, because there's a lot of bookkeepers who do not like taxes. They'll do your books, but then they like turning over that paperwork to give it to you, to take it to someone else, to actually prepare your corporate or business returns. So for employees, Right now, if you do not have a home-based business, you need to start one.
Okay.
Main reason is right now because most of the standard deductions are doubled, which means most people are not going to be able to itemize. So remember when they told you to buy a house and you was going to get all these beautiful tax deductions? It's not going to be there. So the main thing you want to do is maybe now would be the time to start a home-based business. That way you can still be able to have the option of writing off your mortgage interest as well as your property taxes and all of the other things that go within having a home-based business. Mm-hmm. Now, for businesses, we're winning. We already got now 20% deduction within the personal return for your business, but that's capped. It starts at $157,000. It starts to lower. Okay. So I just say, if you have an LLC already, you may want to start paying yourself a salary and level up to an S-corp so you can get that full 20% deduction like they're giving, and then able to take that either plus or minus and take it back to your personal return. Because if the business is not doing well and it just started, the first 3 years, usually people have a loss. Mm-hmm. If you have it on an S-corp, you're really getting that full loss against a salary as opposed to just taking a whole loss on a return. Then when you're trying to buy a house or a car, they're looking at you like, mm-mm.
You didn't make any money.
Yes.
Gotcha. So, of course, there's a lot more involved with taxes, with this new tax code that just came out or just got put into effect. So, obviously, Yvette can't give you all of that right now. So, for those who want to get in touch with you, tell us a little bit about how they can get in touch with you, your book, website, address, whatever you want to give the people on how they can get in touch with Best Services Unlimited.
Okay, so I am on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all underneath the I am Yvette D Best. You could see me there. The website is bestservicesunlimited.com. And then I have my own personal website, which is IamYvetteDBest.com, okay. Which just talks about everything that I do. All of my books are listed on Amazon. I have an Amazon author page, which also features my blog. So when I blog things, it automatically posts to my Amazon author page. Yeah.
What about coming by the location?
Did you want anybody? Let's
tell them about your new.
Oh, yes, this very brand new location that we just opened this year, right here at Fayetteville, right next to IHOP, between IHOP and Hot Atlanta Wings, right in the center of 85 and Route 314. You can't miss it. It's a big tax and notary sign. Probably the only one here in Fayetteville, so you can't miss it. It's 897 Glen Street North. But if I tell you, if you put that into your GPS, you may wind up in front of Park Avenue Thrift, but we're just around the corner.
Okay.
That's about it.
Okay. Well, that's how you can get in touch with Yvette D Best of Best Services Unlimited. Yvette, is there anything else that you want to share with the people? Anything, any mantras or anything that you have that kind of personifies who you are and what you stand for?
Just be you, and don't be afraid about being you, and don't change who you are to fit into anyone else's mold. There's a place for everybody.
Very good point. Definitely a place for everybody. So I'm here. This is Tamar Jameson with Yvette D Best of Best Services Unlimited. Yvette, definitely appreciate your time today. Thank you for sharing your story with the audience. We look forward to hearing a little bit more about taxes and things like that. Make sure you get in touch with Yvette because she will set you right. So this is Tamar Jameson. We are talking Black business today. Remember, always continue to talk Black business.